Good day, everyone. This installment of the Theoretical United States of West Africa will be focused on the country's defenses. Just a disclaimer, I am not a military professional, a historian, nor am I a logistics expert. This is just a hypothetical simulation proposed by a sophomore computer science student. With that being said, let's begin the analysis. This nation will encompass a region of West Africa that equates to a landmass of nearly 8,000 miles. It will be a relatively isolationist country and will only conduct trade within its own borders and with a few other countries. This will be expanded upon in a future video dealing with the economics of the country. It is a vast empire which controls the majority of West Africa and her coasts. The armed forces of this nation will be primarily defensive. To begin, we will look at the heavily guarded Western Sahara section. This 1,800-mile region marked by X's will serve as the country's strongest fortification. The thinking comes from World War II, where Allied forces landed in Morocco and Algiers in order to destroy Nazi Germany's North African positions. This fortification line is only effective with the assumption that an invasion would come from Europe or the North Atlantic Ocean. If we look further into the defenses, near the line we see a combat battalion, multiple launch rocket systems, anti-aircraft guns, and armored vehicle brigades. In the early weeks of an invasion, the MLRS sites would hammer their approaching forces day and night, while buying time for the armored and combat battalions to mobilize. Once fully mobilized, the Northwest Front will effectively counter approaching ground forces while providing ample air defense. The armored brigade would theoretically consist of Russian-made T-90s, and the air defenses would be the S-400 Triumph system. Also pictured is the MLRS firing vehicle, as well as the frontline battalion. Moving from the Sahara to the coast, the defenses decrease in quantity but drastically increase in potency. Cape Verde will be turned into a naval base that hosts nuclear-capable submarines. This will be the primary deterrent for forces attempting to enter from the North Atlantic Ocean. A few miles off the coast is a fleet of Russian-made Admiral Grigorovich-class frigate warships and Kuznetsov-class aircraft carriers. This will serve as a reinforcement force to any North Atlantic threat. Moving further south, in the Gulf of Guinea, we have an identical arrangement where the naval base with nuclear-capable submarines acts as a deterrent to South Atlantic threats, and a naval base of carriers and warships roams a few miles away. Assuming an air invasion renders the naval fleet ineffective, the land coastal forces are equipped with robust air defenses in major cities like Dakar and Lagos. More specifically, they are armed with S-400 Triumph defense systems purchased from Russia. This is a surface-to-air missile and anti-ballistic system that can destroy airborne targets at ranges of up to 250 kilometers, which is about half the length of New York State. They can also intercept ballistic missiles over a 60-kilometer radius, employing 143 high-explosive fragmentation warheads in both situations. This united nation also has compulsory military training for all youth, and by the time each student graduates from high school, they are well trained in armed combat and have the skills of a modern soldier. This pays off in the probability of a multi-front war where enemy forces have broken through the coastal air defenses. At that point, it will be up to the ultra-nationalistic citizens to defend their empire. You may have noticed the two nuclear symbols. Well, by purchasing enriched uranium from Iran, the country has surface-to-surface nuclear capabilities. Since the nuclear program is still under development, the yield of each bomb of its 20-bomb arsenal is equivalent to that of those dropped on Nagasaki, so each payload is around 20 kilotons. The first nuclear force is positioned in Burkina Faso, close enough to the Northern Sahara fortification, but not close enough to handle threats from the Far East. The next force is positioned in the Republic of Congo, primarily as a deterrent to eastern nations that have been chaotic lately, namely Sudan and Eritrea. With these defense forces, this new nation can safely focus on its trade, political system, and wealth. In the next video, I will explain how this is all financed and what trade would look like. I also plan to do a deeper dive into what the optimal political structure would look like, and what difficulties the nation may possibly face. So, if you enjoyed this scenario, please express your elation or disdain in the comment section. And to quote Thomas Jefferson, I like the dreams of the future better than the history of the past. Thank you for watching.